Hey guys, welcome to Melanin Moments. If this is your first time watching, welcome. And if you've seen a couple of my previous videos, welcome back. And from the title, as you can see, they fired me. I had a job and I did really well at it. And I showed up on time, if not early sometimes, and did my job really well. Got along with my coworkers, customers loved me, and they fired me. So obviously there's a little more to the story and we'll get to that, but I just want to do a little rundown of and backstory to the job itself. Now, I wanted to do I had dreams of being a chef a long time ago. So I had dreams and aspirations of going to culinary school at a time, and working in the food and beverage industry was just fitting for that. And I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to go in terms of schooling. So, I went to school for digital video production, graduated, and that's what I have my credentials in. It was between that or culinary. I still love food, I still love cooking, I still have these wild dreams of being a chef one day, but that's for another day. Anyways, working in the food and beverage industry, I've worked in so many different places and not fast food places per se. Like, I was never, the Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, not to knock anybody who works there or who has. I have had my come up jobs too. But I didn't go that route. I worked in restaurants and back of house, front of house, kitchen, and those were, great experiences. And but for this job specifically, I worked in a financial building. And in that financial building, it's very corporate. It's just all about, people who work for the bank. And downstairs, there was a food court. I worked in the food court at one of the more popular stores. It was a Korean Hawaiian fusion situation. Quick stop, quick and go, when the rush came in, it was quick. When the rush left, it was pretty much done. So my job started, that position I had, I fulfilled multiple roles. So I was on the line, I was in back of house prepping early morning. My job always started at 7 a.m. I worked that 7 to 3 shift. And so it would take me an hour and a half, mind you, to get to work. So yeah, I was on my way to work around like 5:30 in the morning. So I got there every day on time, if not early, for my 7 a.m. shift, clocked in, got started, prepped, did what I had to do, got ready for the rushes, cleaned up. I was thorough. I was thorough. And I'm not here to pat myself on the back. I'm not here to say, trying to boast myself up in any way, shape, or form. But I did a good job. And I know that. And I know the people around me knew that too. And sometimes when you move a certain way, people they'll gravitate towards that and they'll start moving in that way too. Because I came in there where there was lazy people complaining and blah, blah, blah. That bothers me, but I won't call you out on it unless you continue to do it over and over again. But sometimes people just have to see you doing something for them to kind of be motivated to do it as well. And I think that's the kind of tone I set at that job, where it was just like, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to work. I'm here to get paper. I'm here to leave after my shift. I'm not here to kiki. But I'm cordial. I'm a team player. Oh, ha ha ha, yeah, I know. Ha ha. Right. I'll play the game. So long story short, or short story long, I don't know. We'll see how long this actually goes. But I had a manager who was there pretty much every day. He was, our main manager. And I don't know if I'm making this camera shift too much. I don't want to move too much because I have my camera set up in a weird spot. But anyways, I had a manager who worked with us every single day. Loved him to pieces. And I think he loves me too. Worked really well together. It was pretty much the same team every day, because it wasn't one of those jobs where you have, people changing up shifts every single day. No, it's not one of those. We worked 7 to 3. We did the same job every day, the same prep every day, the same thing every day, served pretty much the same customers every day. So there was no need to have this big roster of employees. So we knew each other. We kind of built a mini little family. And yeah, that manager, he was there every single day. Now, there's also, I don't know what to call them. I don't know if they were store managers or GMs or what they were, but they had multiple locations of the place I worked at. And there were a couple nearby as well in other financial buildings that were around the one I was working in. And so I guess they'd walk, they'd stop by different locations to kind of check in, see what was going on. If it was super, super busy or if two people called in sick, they'd come and give a hand. So yeah, so there was two of them, the little more higher ups, two females. And oh boy, the energy on them. Oh my goodness. So first of all, they'd come in, not say a word to you, not say good morning, not greet you, just come in as though, they were upset that they had to come there to help, start something, mix one little salad and leave everything all over the counter, spill something on the floor and then run away so we got to clean it up. They never helped when it was actually the busiest, the most hardest things to do during our job, our daily, whatever we had to do. But they were just, their energy was off. It was bad. It wasn't good. It was not tasteful. Not one employee there really liked them. Like, we didn't chat about them too much, but it's just, when the vibe is off, it's just stay away from me. I'd rather not even engage with you. So they would come in sometimes and not even say good morning as I'm there prepping, doing my work, and then want to ask me for things or bump me and not say excuse me. I'm like, what is happening here? Who are you guys? And you guys are supposed to be the people kind of running the show, and you're behaving like this. So, as time went on, they'd come in over and over again, and, I'm not going to go out of my way to say good morning. I'm sorry. Not the way you've been treating people. It's like people think they could treat you a certain way, and it can't get dished back. Oh, how dare you treat me how I treated you? How dare you? How dare you be rude to me after I was rude to you so many times? Yeah, that's how people really are. It's crazy to see in real time. But, it got to a point where I guess one of them didn't like it. And they kind of, labeled me as rude, attitude, blah, blah, blah. When one of them called me out, I asked a couple of my fellow employees, I said, do you think I'm rude? Do you think I give you attitude? Do you think I have, a rude energy? Like, no, I love you. What do you mean? And listen, again, I'm not trying to big myself up. I know how I am. I build family in settings and jobs that I like. Even if I don't like it, I learn to like the people I work with because I have to work with them. So that was just so crazy to me. I want to bring up the point that we had customers every day. And when the lunch rush came, it was like a tornado. People in this financial building loved the food that we served. So our lines were dumb long. I think there was about maybe 10 different food joints in that food court. Ours was the longest every single time. And it was a joy serving. It was fun serving. That was my favorite part. Aside from cook, because I like to cook. I love to prep. I love to chop. I love to mix. I love to handle food. Serving people, though, I also love as well. And I loved it because they were pleasant to be around. I mean, you'd have your 1 and 2, they didn't really want to come to work that day, so they weren't really that pleasant. But at the end of the day, you got to be pleasant because that's just the job. That's the nature of it. Serving people with a rude-ass face and, yeah, what can I get you? Okay. No, I was jovial. I was happy. I was out there. As introverted as I may be, as quiet as I might be sometimes, as to myself as I might be, I know when to turn it on. Code switching is my thing. I can do it in the right setting. So that rush comes in, I'm on. When it's done, I'm off. So, you know, I feel like even to this day, if I go and find all those customers, I can ask them right now, you know what? Do you remember when I worked here? Remember when I served you like 10 million times? Did you appreciate my energy? Was I kind to you? Did you love serving me? I guarantee you it would be a yes. Guaranteed. Because I know how I treated them. I know how I behaved. I know what my attitude and energy was. Sometimes I'd be on cash, cashing things out. Sometimes I'd be serving. The job, it's multifaceted. So I can definitely say I did my job well. I did my job well, and that's why they fired me. Can you imagine? I did my job well, so they fired me. They didn't like how I thrived in the job, so they fired me. No, listen to what I'm saying. I did a good job. I did well at my job, and they fired me. They didn't like that I was excelling in my role, so they fired me. Please, someone stop. Listen. One day, out of the blue, I get Aisha. That's my name, by the way. They pulled me to the side with my manager that I worked with every day, and the two that like to come in and be rude, sat me down, said, "This is a warning." I don't even remember what the warning was for, but it was BS. That's all I remember. And I remember looking at my manager that I work with every day. Like, I gave him the face like, what is this? Is this a joke? And then he literally looked at me like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just here because he told me to come. Like, that was his whole, like, that was it. And once they left, we started talking, and I'm like, really, what is this? He's like, I don't know, man. I don't even know what they're talking about. This is them, but this is not me. I don't feel this way about you. You know this. And I'm like, I know that. So that's why it was so confusing. I'm like, what is happening here? Are you guys targeting me? Mind you, I was the only Black girl working there. I think that's very important to mention. I was the only Black girl working at the job. That was a big factor for me too. I can't believe I didn't bring that up earlier, mind you. Wow. Fast forward, another one of those managers came in one day, and she did something crazy. I don't remember what it was, but I called her out for it, and then she called me outside to talk about it, calling me out about being rude to her. And I said, no, I'm just telling you, you can't do what you, like, we know, we come in here day in, day out, every single day. You come in here once in a blue moon, once or twice a week. You don't know our routines. You don't know how we move in here. So I'm telling you, you can't do that. You can't put that there or do what you just did in that way. That's all I'm telling you. Maybe you think you know how to do your job. That's great, but you're not here every day to know the routine that we have. And she got really upset at me. And I said, you know what? You can be upset if you want. I'm just telling you, this is how we run things in here. I don't know if you want to come in here and change it up. If that's what you can do that, but I'm not with it. I'm not doing that. Anyways, it was just this whole debacle of just unnecessary feuding between her and I, and that ended. A couple days later, I'm getting ready to go to work, literally about to put on my shoes. I get a text message on my phone. Don't come in. Your last day was your last day. We're terminating you. Through text, over a text message, by the way. They fired me. I said, yeah, this is your termination text. You're done. You're not coming back again. I said, wow, okay. How do I handle this? But, I didn't do much about it. I asked for my termination pay, severance pay. They said I don't get it. I just said, forget this job. I was able to go on employment, and there's this thing out here called EI, and I was able to get a little bit of money until I found a new job. And I went back, talked to my manager, my coworkers, whatever, told them that I was no longer there. They were surprised. They're like, wow, oh my gosh, what happened? My manager already knew, and he was so sorry. He was so apologetic. Like, honestly, I didn't know they were going to do that. This was just as surprising to me as it was to you. And I had no idea they were going to do that. And I said, yeah, you know what? It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. This wasn't going to be my um, my career of choice. So I didn't plan on being here forever, but, because I didn't play the game. They fired me because I didn't play the game. They fired me because I did my job well, and they don't usually get to see people excel in those roles. They usually have to tell them to do this and do that, and, oh, no, do it this way, and do it that way, and don't do this, and, well, you're doing this wrong, and they never had to talk to me. They never had to do that. My manager never had to do that. And I think they were just upset because they never had to do that. They were mad and fired me because I did well at my job. I was good at my job. I got along with the people I worked with. You guys are intimidated by me? Is that what it is? I'm rude? Or is it because I'm black? Do you have this common idea about black girls that you're just labeling me as that? So you're just, because that's not really the case here. Because if you want me to get rude, I can get rude. But I had no reason to come into work and be rude any day. All I can say is the people I worked with can attest to my attitude, my behavior, how I carried myself, how I dealt with customers. And at the end of the day, that's why I wasn't upset. I really wasn't upset when they fired me, because I know the truth. And the people around me who work with me every single day know the truth as well. And, I could have taken it further, but legally, sometimes you just gotta lose it. I wasn't trying to excel. I wasn't trying to go far with that job anyways. It was just one of those, in between, I need a job at the moment kind of thing. And it was a time I got some extra experience. I'm grateful for it. You meet different and new people, and it is what it is. And shortly before that, someone else got fired too, which was crazy. But her story is way different than mine. She actually was rude. She showed up late every day. She complained every day. Like, that's the thing. It's like I just showed up and I did my job. I don't have anything. Like, I'm not going to stand around complaining. If I've done everything and I think everything's been done and I can't necessarily leave yet, I'm going to find something else to do. Keep myself busy. If it's absolutely dead and we've cleaned up and we've prepped the place to close and we've done all we were supposed to do that day, hey, can I jet? Can I leave early? Yeah, my manager loved my guts. That's why he never wanted to sit down on those settings and situations with those managers, to fire me and to give me warnings and to tell me about myself, things that weren't even real. Like, they knew me. Let's target the black girl. Way to go. I would call out the company, but maybe they're not even working for them anymore, and that would probably tarnish the whole name, and I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that, but I need to tell my story because, listen, they're out here firing people for nothing. People are just trying to find a job. People are just trying to get by. People are just trying to find, some way to make something. They're not trying to make this their lifelong career. This is not their lifelong dream. This is just something to do to make money now because the world is falling. Oh, and because I was the only black girl. Huh? Working a 9 to 5, 7 to 3, 10 to 4. Listen, this is 8 to 4, 10 to 6, 9 to 5, 7 to 3. Whatever it is. It's not easy, man. And, shout out to anybody who's grinding out here. Shout out to anybody who's, getting up early to go to a job that they hate. I know it's more common than anyone wants to talk about. I know it. But it's so unfortunate that we're at this time where that's all we can do. And we gotta get up and grind. Get up and go and serve somebody else, somebody that hates us. Go work for people that hate you, that talk about you when you leave, that have special little names for you in their little groups that they have, you know, that target you, that build up cases against you to get you fired, to give you warnings, to terminate you at a job you were just trying to get by and just make a little money at. Not caring about what you have going on at home, who you're taking care of, who you're trying to feed, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to pay for, where you live. No, you're fired over nothing. This kind of turned into a little bit of a rant, but this was my story on me getting fired. And shout out to anybody who's trying hard, you know, who's just trying to get by. And you know, I pray that the Lord kind of lifts us up and gets us out of here quicker than anything right now. Sooner than later. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this up now. Thank you guys for watching again. Like, if you got a story about being fired, getting fired, let me know down in the comments. Share this video, like this video. Please, please subscribe. Help your girl elevate in this YouTube world. Okay? So like, comment, subscribe, do that thing. Thank you guys. Until next time, it's Melanin Moments. I'm out.